In my observations with life, my negative experiences with bullying and ostracization, I've come to the terms of my own existence and what I must do to find peace at last. I have learned that friendships don't exist. You can be a friend. That's the paradox of it. You can actually believe you're being a friend, but friendships aren't always two sided. Maybe they have certain genuine concern for you, but as well, all people naturally are psychopaths. Friends try to stab each other in the back. The friend that is perceived as too nice, at least to a certain degree, and tries to help people, they will be trampled on. Friendships are not based on honesty, by the way, for the most part. Friends are based on lies. You got to lie to people because if you're too honest, they'll stab you in the back. Here's the thing I've also learned on this recording. Women will kiss a dude, sit on his lap, do all types of shit, and still hate that motherfucker. It's not for you to hate them. Believe me, don't. Don't hate women. Hate yourself. You can blame yourself, but your blame, believe it or not, is not directly linked to yourself, but what you are. See, it's not your character, but who you are with the character. Women and people in general, men and women, act on their own natures. Psychopathic tendencies are common in all people. Narcissism, egotistical senses of entitlement, these are all consistent in every single human being, some more than others. If you are watching this, realize that you can't logically hate women. I'm sure there's women you're around and you care about them, but believe me, if they hate you, don't hate them back. Strive for peace. And if you can't strive for peace, end yours. Kill yourself. Yes, I am advocating for suicide. I advocate for it. If you are a miserable, lonely loser, as I am, the only option is to take your own life because that's more of a flip off to society than doing something terrible like harming people. Because when you break laws that and you go out and try to kill people, which you should never do, you're only benefiting society by making society look superior. It's not. It's primitive, but it's run on domestication. That's not to say that you should act on your own hatred. Don't. Don't. Don't you ever try to harm people. That's the problem. There's too many shootings going on because these young men, they can't handle the facts of life because they were lied to. They were lied to at an early age and they were told that character mattered more than how they looked. And for some time they believed it. If that's you, if you're getting to the point where you're thinking about doing things, don't. Do yourself a favor. End it. End your own life as I should end my own life. Not because I want to harm people. I'm past that point of saying insane things that are not beneficial to others or myself. I've come to the point where I no longer hate. I've surpassed that and have only accepted pain. Pain is the final stage of my life. I've went through the rants and the terrible statements of harm, and I put that aside. I put that aside as childish things. But despite that, you cannot turn off the pain that has been inflicted on you. I have gotten into fights with my siblings, and believe me, a punch hurts far less than the punch of life. Life indeed is one big punch to the face, and it hurts far worse than being physically punched. It hurts really bad knowing that women find you disgusting, that women think you're ugly. It hurts really bad when you fall in love for some fucked up reason, because some women will kiss you and all this shit, and you're gullible enough to be enticed by it, to fall in love. You can't blame them. I mean, I don't anyway. they see you as an easy target. I only blame myself. I don't care. I'll blame myself all I wish. I can blame myself anytime I want. I'll blame myself for something beyond my control because I don't really care anymore. I'm so indifferent to hating people now. It means nothing to me. My hate then is stemmed from my own existence, not theirs. That doesn't mean I don't get mad. That doesn't mean I want to sometimes have the inclination to fuck someone up. But these things need to be put aside. You see, one example, I was punched in the face by a sibling because we got into a conflict on a text. Believe me, his punches are much more preferable than the punch of life. Life is far worse than the punch of a person. You know what's even more painful, though? Feeling the sting of a woman's hatred. That's one of the most painful things you can go through. You care about them, but you feel their pain. Yeah, I mean, you can feel like their own suffering. You can even feel the suffering of others, but they despise you. You can feel their pain. You can sense it. You can sense their own struggles and sufferings, but despite that, they hate you. I don't hate them. I care about them, just as I care about my friends. But at least to a certain degree, I feel in my own being, this feeling cannot be shooken either, that they have an utter, complete distaste for me, a consuming, burning hatred for me that cannot be quenched. It is a hatred that they keep to themselves or subside in their own discussions amongst each other. My indifference, I don't really have any. My indifference is to life, not them, not to people, or like it's to life. The biggest indifference of my soul being is life. I've gotten to the point that nothing means anything to me anymore. You know, there is no meaning to this life. Nihilism's true, unfortunately. You live and you die, and if you live, you truly live. But if you die, and then you live. If that makes sense. So to die is to exist, and to live is to die. And for some, that is the case. If you commit suicide, you indeed live. But if you pursue your life, you indeed die. Death then is gain, and life is death. The life of the ugly is subjected to harsh cruelties which is beyond their control. Nature has selected these individuals for a destiny of destitute, poverty stricken, disease ridden filth, which they are, which I am. I am the heap of dog shit which no one regarded. I am the dog shit that was suggested to go out in a field and pick up dog shit or a patty. I have experienced derogatory backhanded insults from women to which I actually care about. And even if they, let's say, for example, they just care about me as a friend, I would still care about them. But they use backhanded insults in regards to my soul being because truly and genuinely they despise me. No one could miss him, they say. Why don't you go out and grab the patty of shit to accumulate shrooms, they say. Um, Shave your mustache so that you can look like a man, they say. You look like a female named Gretchen, they say. And I know all these statements are an endeavor to belittle the individual. Do I hate them for it? Absolutely not. Does it hurt? Of course. I'm not incapable of feeling pain. People think I am. People think that I am like a legit a psychopath in the context of completely incapable of having any remorse or sympathy or empathy for people. And that's just not true. The problem is they've only seen the parts of me that have started to lash out due to years of rejection. People often love to say, do not judge a book by its cover. People love to say that they can put themselves in other shoes. It's only the weird autist who cannot. Ironically, though, they don't. They love to say these things, but they see someone out of context flipping the fuck out, and they are prone to judgments which are not based on complete reality. They have all types of judgments about people, and then they love to appear moral. They think they're on a moral high ground. They love to call people psychopaths. They love to say that person's just a fucking psychopath who rants and is fucking stupidly delusional. But they themselves show disregard for people. In fact, some of them are teachers, and some of these so called altruistic teachers show psychopathic traits to certain students. And the police do nothing. The police do nothing. Everybody, to a certain degree, is a sociopathic induced psychopath to which they show limited selective empathy depending on the groups of individuals they associate with. We live in an age where we are willfully retarded. We are willfully stupid. We have induced ourselves into a delusional state of stupidity, and we can't even see our own lack of morals as a society. We think we're so moral, but we show traits of psychopathy to individuals we have absolutely, truly, and genuinely no regard for. People often wonder why some people avoid females. I'll tell you why. It's not because some of these guys hate women. Some of them do, don't get me wrong. But some of them know how the game is. They know that genetics play a role. And without good genetics, it is better to, for their benefit and yours, to avoid them. By their benefit, I mean specifically so they don't have to deal with looking at your ugly, fucking, disgusting face. And for your benefit, so you don't have to be reminded of your ugly, fucking, disgusting face. Women often look at the ugly. Well, and this is people in general, but I'm speaking specifically of the sex to which I am attracted to. Women will look at a man with a puzzled look of confusion because it's a sense of detecting something that is not genetically right. Women show signs of fear and nervousness around the ugly, in the same way society in general does this. My only hope is to die, because when I die, I will live. But as I live, I die. I die inside, and others can see my death. To die is to gain, and to live is to die.